Good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good weekend so far. Now, before we get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and subscribe. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. So, as you know, today is Sunday. We are going to go over, first of all, the SPY, as we always do, give you some key levels to watch out for. Then we are going to go over a couple of stocks that Mario, one of our subscribers, asked me to go over with him. And then we are going to give you the three best picks going into Monday. All right, guys, with that said, let's go into the SPY. All right, guys, anyone who watched Friday's show knows that we did hit a new 52-week high. And as you know, we're hitting this upper Bollinger Band, guys. So anytime we're starting to hit that upper Bollinger Band, guys, there's a high probability we start seeing a little bit of a pullback, okay? So now this doesn't mean we're going to see a pullback tomorrow. It just means we're starting to get a little bit overheated. Now, if you can see, we can go into this overheated, overbought situation for a while before we see a pullback. So be very cognizant that we are in this overbought situation, and if we start taking out the low of the previous day once we're in this overbought situation, that's my first signal of a possibility of a pullback. But I do like pullbacks. Pullbacks are good in an uptrending market. It gives new buyers a chance to come in at lower prices, and that's the way the market works, okay? So don't look at pullbacks as necessarily a bad thing. It's just they're a healthy part of the market cycle, all right? So again, I'm going to give you some key levels to be aware of. Down here is that 10 SMA, right down here to be aware of. Then we have that midpoint Bollinger Band right here. Let's call that 360, the 50-day moving average, which also happens to be that value area high on the daily on the SPY, which happens to be right around 347, 347.50. So those are some key levels to look at. If we start seeing a sell-off, start keying in on those levels and we should be fine. Okay, guys, that is the SPY. All right, so now let's go into the one stock one of our subscribers had left a comment on. First of all, he was and made a little bit of money on STNG. I'm not going to go over STNG. If you are interested in that one, Scorpio Tankers, I did a really good recap on that on Friday. I'm still extremely bullish on this one. If you are interested, just go back on on the channel and you can just pick that up on Friday and give you my full analysis on that one. I really do like that a lot. But Mario did have one on AKBA. He left a comment wanting to know what I thought about that. So I really do like the way the risk reward setup on this is. As soon as we start getting above that 10-day moving average, which we're only pennies away, guys, I really do think you're going to see a lot of buyers coming into this one. I'd be a buyer above Friday's high on this, which is 311, and then clearly use that 50-day moving average as my out. That also happens to be that VPOC right here. This is that red line. That's where the majority of these shares. This is what that version point of control. That's where the majority of those shares were traded. Okay, so I'd like to see a little bit of a lift above that, and then use that 50-day moving average, which is down here about 275, 280 right there in that area. Any close below that, I would be out of the name, okay? That is AKBA. Well done, Mario. Thank you for subscribing. I really do like to set up the risk reward on this. You were spot on. All right, with that one, let's go into the three stocks that look really good going into tomorrow. First one is a really extremely high beta name, which means it's going to move around quite a bit, guys. If you don't have the stomach for this one, please do not play it. Very low float stock. It's NETE. So NETE made this really nice high not too long ago. It pulled back, guys. Look at this. It pulled right back to this midpoint Bollinger Band, bounced off here, bounced off it, hit this 10-day moving average again, and I really do think this one's going to go a lot higher the way the setup is. So again, be a buyer above Friday's high in this one, and then use this midpoint Bollinger Band all the way down here. Let's call that 945 as you're out. Okay, guys, so that is a pretty large spread, so don't obviously don't go all in on this one. Take a small position, but I do think by the end of the week, NETE is going to be trading higher unless we see a complete market meltdown. Okay, that's NETE. Next stock that looks really good, where the risk reward setup looks really nice, is RXT. RXT, which is Rackspace Technologies. This one came public not too long ago, back in mid to early August. The 10 SMA is above this 50. We're above this VPOC again, not too far from this value area high, guys. This looks like it wants to break above this value area high on the daily. Again, there's not much inventory or shares traded above us, which means there's not going to be that selling pressure. I think traders who are coming in now are looking for a bigger move. Anyone who got into this name. So again, take a look at this one. I believe by the end of the week, this one will be trading higher again, unless we have a complete market collapse. So again, let's bring this up on a couple of different charts. This is the 9 SMA on the weekly, where clearly the price is above this 9 SMA, which is bullish sign, and then that 513 EMA chart right here, which is a nice short-term indicator in my opinion, when the 5 is above the 13. As you can see, the 5 is clearly, which is this blue line, above the 13. Again, a nice bullish indicator on that one. So RXT, again, be a buyer, above Friday's high, and then clearly be a seller any close below. So again, you have to give this a little bit of room below this 50-day moving average of what's that, 17. So let's call that 1745 right down here. Okay, guys. So this is another one that has a pretty big spread on this on your stop out on this one. Okay, that is RXT. Lastly, the stock that looks really good going into tomorrow is INO. So INO had, let's bring this up real quickly. Okay, here we go. INO had earnings. One thing I do like about INO, guys, after earnings, that was the low of the day. It gapped down, right? And then since that earnings call, it hasn't gone lower. That means all the sellers were out. They really like what they heard. Let's just zoom in right here real quickly. There we go. Look, we gapped down after earnings, came right back, took out, all of those losses from the previous day. We're above that 50-day moving average now. We were above the 10 moving average then, right? And we bounce, bounce, bounce. Now that 10 is moving above that 50. We're above this point of control, guys. I really do love this setup. I mean, I think the risk reward setup is even better than the other two. If you get in it, again, that 50-day moving average is right down here at 11, let's call that 1150. You get in at 12, let's say it opens at 1260 on Monday tomorrow, and then so you're giving that about $1.10, risk reward setup. That's your stop loss. Anything below that, okay, that is INO. Third stock that looks really good going into Monday and for the rest of the week. Okay, guys. Again, let's bring this up on a couple of other charts before I let you go. I do want to show you that the 5 EMA clearly is above that 13. Again, a really nice short-term bullish indicator. And then that 9 SMA should be, and it is, above, the price is above that 9 SMA right down here at 1136. Okay, guys. So again, I'd be a buyer on Monday at the open, and then by the end of the week, this should be higher, and use, again, any close below that 50-day moving average as you're out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. My name is Eric, and you can reach me by leaving a comment down below, just like Mario did, and I will get back to you on any questions you may have on stocks that you own, or just leave me a comment about the show. I really do appreciate it. And I do appreciate you guys subscribing, and anyone who is listening in who is thinking about subscribing. Again, I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right, everyone, have a great remainder of the weekend. We will see you Monday after the close. And remember, trade smart and be safe.